In 2006, Brian Shaffer walked into a crowded Columbus bar at 2 in the morning and never walked out from a building with one entrance, one exit, and cameras covering both, with every frame of footage reviewed and every floor searched turning up nothing. And that is the problem. Brian was 27 years old, second-year medical student at Ohio State University. He was quiet, careful, well-liked by everyone who knew him. His mother, Linda Shaffer, had died of ovarian cancer just 3 weeks earlier. He was grieving, but his friends said he seemed okay that night. He wanted to go out. It was spring break. He and two friends, Clint Florence and Meredith Reed, started the evening in the short north, bar hopping, laughing, celebrating nothing in particular. At around 1:30 in the morning, they arrived at the Ugly Tuna Saloon, a bar tucked inside an atrium on High Street in Columbus, Ohio. The bar had a single public entrance, one door in, one door out. Security cameras covered that entrance continuously. Brian walked through it at approximately 1:55 a.m. He was captured on camera outside the entrance talking to two women he did not know. He appeared relaxed. He was wearing a gray Ohio State sweatshirt and jeans. His girlfriend, Alexis Wailed, had already left for the night. She had an early morning. Brian stayed. His friends were inside. Around 2:00 a.m., last call was announced. The bar began to empty. People filed out through the single entrance past the cameras. Clint came out. Meredith came out. Brian did not. Clint waited. He assumed Brian had walked ahead of him. He went home. The bar closed. The lights went down. The Ugly Tuna Saloon locked its doors for the night. And Brian Shaffer, a 27-year-old man in a gray sweatshirt in a camera-monitored corridor, was simply not there. His girlfriend reported him missing the next afternoon when he failed to answer calls or show up. Police reviewed every frame of the Ugly Tuna's surveillance footage. They watched every person leave. They accounted for every face that passed through that entrance. Brian was not among them. He did not walk out. His car sat untouched in a nearby parking garage. His cell phone went silent that night and stayed silent. It never pinged a tower again, not once, not in any direction. Investigators searched the surrounding block. They searched the parking garage level by level. They checked the atrium, the surrounding streets, dumpsters, drainage. Volunteers combed green spaces around Columbus. Search dogs worked the area. Skin divers went into the Olentangy River a few blocks away. They found nothing. No wallet discarded, no sweatshirt, no body, no signal. Brian Shaffer was a man who walked into a building and stopped existing. The most common explanation offered early was suicide. Brian had just lost his mother. Grief can do terrible things. Investigators took that seriously. They looked for a pattern, a note, a final conversation, a change in behavior. His friends said he had seemed sad but not desperate. There was no note, no final message to Alexis, no searches on his computer for methods. His bank account went untouched after that night. Police checked hospitals across Ohio and neighboring states. Nobody matching his description had been admitted or found. The grief theory answered the why. It answered nothing about the how. Remember the cameras. The camera covered the only way out. Brian never appeared on it leaving. So investigators examined the building itself more closely. There was active construction on the exterior of the atrium that night, scaffolding running along the outer walls above the street. Some theorized Brian had navigated that scaffolding in the dark, bypassing the camera, and descended onto the street unseen. It was an uncomfortable theory. It required a man in a gray sweatshirt to climb exterior scaffolding above a city street at 2 a.m. on a Friday night, in a neighborhood still full of people, without a single witness calling it in. Surveillance from neighboring businesses and street-facing cameras from that block were reviewed. Not one frame showed Brian Shaffer emerging from that building in any direction, by any route at any time after he entered. The scaffolding exit was not ruled impossible. It was never confirmed either. And that gap, that small, maddening gap, is where the case has lived for 20 years. Here is the detail investigators could not get past. The cameras showed Brian at 1:55 a.m. speaking with two unidentified women near the entrance. Investigators found those women and interviewed them. They confirmed the conversation. Brief, ordinary, unremarkable, they walked away. Brian, still on camera, turned back toward the entrance. The footage shows him moving toward the door, and then he is gone. He does not pass through that entrance on any subsequent frame. There is no record of him walking out. There is no record of him collapsing. There is no record of anything at all. He was there, and then he was not. Brian Shaffer has been missing since April 1, 2006. He would be 46 years old today. The Ugly Tuna Saloon was demolished in 2010. His case remains officially open with Columbus police. No confirmed sightings, no remains, no resolution. If the camera covered the only exit and Brian Shaffer never appeared on it, then where exactly did he go?